I can't wait to get my third Chick-fil-A meal of the day.
Same. Honestly, it's been a good 3 hours since I've had my last meal. I'm starving.
Wait, are you kidding me?
What's wrong?
Stupid Grubhub isn't working. You don't even understand. I really needed that freaking chicken right now.
You have got to be kidding me. I needed the calories.
A 12-piece nugget would have hit so different right now. Ugh!
What you just witnessed is called a first world problem. According to Urban Dictionary, a first world problem is when you already have what you need, yet you complain about the quality and the type of what you want. Both Zach and Tori had eaten already. At this point, food was just a convenience as opposed to a need. I've actually brought Zach and Tori here today to educate them on South Africa. Hello, happy people. Come on in, have a seat.
Hi.
Hey, hi, how are you today?
Well, if I'm being really honest with you, I am exhausted. You see, I was relying on some Chick-fil-A to get me through my long night because I'm working on an honors project.
Yeah, I could be better. I just hate when things inconvenience me.
Well, that's great to hear. If you don't know already, I've brought you here today to ask you a series of questions about South Africa.
South Africa? Why do we need to know about South Africa?
Well, you see, South Africa has a serious hunger problem. Witnessing your behavior gave me the perfect opportunity to educate you on some serious matters.
Well, sure, if you insist.
I don't really like either of your attitudes. Did you know that about 28% of households in South Africa are at risk of experiencing hunger, and 26% of households are already experiencing the negative impacts of hunger?
Well, to be honest, I didn't realize that.
The significant amount of hunger in South Africa causes poverty, increased crime rates, and social unrest and unease.
Wow, it's that bad?
After apartheid, South Africa began to become increasingly urbanized. Although these efforts benefit some people, a majority of people are still left behind in poverty.
I never realized that apartheid was that bad. To be honest, I'm not that educated in the subject.
Note that poverty in this case does not directly relate to monetary terms. Urban food security and healthcare are also factors that filter into poverty.
Wow, now I see why you called us in here. I'm sorry for being so pretentious.
Is there any way we can help?
Of course, by informing others on this issue, like I'm doing right now, you can help to increase awareness towards the issue.
But awareness does not necessarily mean action.
You're exactly right. We can find leaders who are passionate about the issue and engage their strengths.
What do you mean by engaging strengths?
Well, engaging strengths is a process that discovers strengths in a group and determines how they are applicable in a situation.
So if I was strong in one area and Zach was strong in another area, we would divide and conquer based on our strengths.
In a sense, yes, but remember, we are not necessarily dividing. We're all working towards the same goal.
Oh, I see.
Did we learn something today?
Yes, of course.
Remember to be grateful for what you have. Many people in other parts of the world are not as fortunate.
It's a terrible reality that needs to change.
Man, it's been since last October since I've had my last pumpkin spice latte. I might just have to treat myself.
Honestly, Ronan, you're so mainstream. I'm just gonna get an iced coffee.
No, you're not.
What do you mean?
Grubhub is down, so we can't order.
That is literally the worst. How do they expect me, a college student, to be able to function without my caffeine?
What's going on here? Who are you?
Someone who wants you to recognize your actions.
Look, I don't know who you are, but I really just want to order my coffee.
Listen, while this might seem like an inconvenience at the moment, you should really be grateful for what you have.
Well, listen, man, you don't have to get all philosophical here, right?
Hey, we had the same perspective as you, but then we came to a realization.
And what exactly did you realize?
Well, you see, someone told us about the tragedy that's currently going on in South Africa. 6 million children live below the food poverty line, and they don't even receive the proper nutrition to be considered healthy.
Yeah, many of the people there are malnourished. And not to mention that correlates with poverty and crime rates as well.
Well, I guess my iced coffee can wait.
Man, I've been so one-sided and conceited for so long. Thank you for changing my perspective.
Well, of course. Just remember to be grateful for your possessions, and, you know, there's always people less fortunate than you.
Even though our skit conveyed a lighthearted tone for the most part, hunger in South Africa is a serious issue that cannot go unchecked. In order to stop this crisis in South Africa, we need to engage strengths, get corporations involved that can donate proceeds toward this cause, and limit our waste. Malnourishment impacts children's development at every age, stunting their physical and mental growth. Not receiving enough food negatively impacts not only their health, but also their educational futures. Even though South Africa has lots of available land, lack of resources and funding makes it nearly impossible for South Africans to grow their own food. To help raise awareness and end hunger and poverty, please consider these ideas.